Hello everybody and welcome to Hiroshima, Japan. This is the Japanese B.LEAGUE, the 2021-22 season, and the battle between Hiroshima Dragonflies and Utsunomiya Brex. Well, the Hiroshima fans hoping for a better result than what unfolded when these two teams met just recently a day ago. Game that Utsunomiya Brex rolled away to a big win. Both of them obviously contending for spots in the playoffs as you look at the standings. And Hiroshima right there, fourth in their division, and Utsunomiya Brex as well, fourth place in theirs. So we have got a good one today, we believe. And again, Utsunomiya Brex playing a little bit better of late. Hiroshima losers of their last 5 games and looking to put things right today. Defending champions Chiba Jets right up at the top in the east, ahead of Kawasaki Tokyo, and followed by Utsunomiya with Akita just behind. Utsunomiya Brex, well, they've got a well-known team. You look at all the way from Yuta Tabuse, the veteran Japanese, and Makoto Hiyajima, Kai Taves, Yukisuko Endo, of course, one of the players, Endo and Tabuse, that played for that very first B-League title-winning team for Utsunomiya Brex. Kasuke Takeuchi, Hirohito Araya, number 11, Yonori Watanabe, number 13, number 18, Seiji Ikaruga, number 20, Chase Feeler, 31, Shuhei Kitagawa. Josh Scott wears number 40, needs no introduction, and nor does Isaac Fotu, number 42. So Isaac Fotu playing in his first season. There he is in the Basketball Champions League, and the New Zealand Tall Black, the international player, played in a lot of big games. And you can see the starting 5 today for Utsunomiya Brex will be Hiyajima, Endo, also Ikaruga, Josh Scott, and Fotu. And for Hiroshima, well, a team that has welcomed the visitors today. We'll look down at their roster as well. Utsunomiya Brex, remember, always in the reckoning. They had a strong season 1 year ago. Of course, these are difficult times with COVID, and you can see that the players, even during warm-ups, are wearing their masks just from a safety standpoint, whenever possible. There is Hiyajima, though. He is one terrific player for this Brex outfit, and their win yesterday. Hiyajima did have 12 points. He was, as usual, part of the winning formula. So there won't be any secrets between these two teams as they trade blows again. Just 1 day later, and Hiroshima again looking to bounce back and to try to get on the winning track. They've had an up and down season, though. They started extremely well. They've had several streaks. Now, this was, again, talking about their game yesterday, 77-63. Utsunomiya Brex winning it. And you had, starting off, Hiroshima there, number 0. Starting out like a house on fire. He ended up leading his team with 15 points. And you also had Yasunori Aoki there driving, and nobody ever really stops that man right there, Josh Scott, and that was the case yesterday. He had 18 points. Isaiah Murphy got in on the act, getting out on the break. Charles Jackson again with the rebound and the quick outlet pass to Murphy. doing a little shaking and baking as he is wont to do. But from an experience standpoint, that's no contest with these two teams. Brex, of course, winning the title several years ago and always in the reckoning. Hiroshima, the Japanese national team guard, always a steadying force out there, and they have so many options. They want to stay outside, they want to go inside, they share the basketball. There's Feeler catching the basketball from Josh Scott on the break, and for two as well. Having a very big game yesterday. Two finished with 13 points and just a rebound shy of a double-double. Josh Scott also had 12 rebounds to go with his big points haul. So Ryo Terashima, Thomas Kennedy, Shoko Asayama, number 2, Naoto Tsuji, number 3, Yasunori Aoki, wears number 4, number 5, Isaiah Murphy, Isaiah Funyu, Gregory Echenike, number 7, Charles Jackson, Takuto Nakamura, all the way down, and we are also going to get a look at the starting fives. So here's Terashima, again, looking to build on yesterday's performance. I mean, he's not going to take any delight in how he played, because the bottom line was they lost the contest. Also, Naoto Tsuji coming in the starting 5. Isaiah Murphy, we saw some highlights of him getting out yesterday on the break. He had 8 points. Got into a little bit of foul trouble, had 4 fouls. There's the Venezuela international, Gregory Echenike. And Nick Mayo comes out and will be playing a lot of minutes today, no doubt. Number 24, he had 8 points and 6 rebounds in their defeat. And Kyle Milling, the head coach. Remember, this is a Hiroshima team that played in the B.LEAGUE last season for the first time, and have actually improved quite considerably, but right now dealing again with a difficult spell, having lost several of their games. So again, the starting 5s for both teams. Echenike there for Hiroshima, number 8. Also Murphy, number 5. Nick Mayo, number 24. Terashima, who wears 0, and number 3, Naoto Tsuji. And starting for, again, Brex on the right, number 18, Ikaruga, the veteran, as well as Yusuke Indo. Hiroshima, number 6, Josh Scott, number 40, and Isaac Fotu, number 42. So the B.LEAGUE just keeps moving from strength to strength. We've had some absolute blinder of games this season, and we're expecting this one to be just as good. This contest, looking for it to add to what has been a very lively season. So Utsunomiya Brex coming in from the East Division in 4th place, and Hiroshima also 4th, coming out of the West. Tip-off. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching. We are in Japan, just 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are underway, the B.LEAGUE game between Hiroshima and Utsunomiya. Hiroshima winning the opening tip and attacking the basket to the left. And a nice little alley-oop pass from Tsuji to Nick Mayo, getting up and starting things off on the right foot for the home team, Hiroshima. Hiroshima looking for a little bit of space. Now, a little over-the-shoulder pass to Josh Scott. He kind of fumbles it, gets it off to Endo, who drives in and gets it to drop. Nice patient offense. Hiroshima launches it and gets his first 2 points. And a little runner and scored by Endo. So both teams trading baskets here at the start of the game. Dusting off the cobwebs, and now Hiroshima miss for 2 with one of his many rebounds that he'll get today. Endo. Front court gets it to the tall black. Now Josh Scott. And again, good ball movement here by Brex. Scott again, little herky-jerky move, gets inside, misses, but there's Fotu to clean up the mess. Hiroshima dribbles around and passes it outside to Mayo. Murphy puts it on the deck, and a nice little wraparound. And Echenike travels. So Echenike, a little bit hot under the collar, thinking that he was fouled. Very big man, played for Venezuela's national team so many years, applying his trade in Japan. And now Endo tried to dump it into Scott, and Mayo was ready for it. Now the little bump and the foul by Endo. Endo has 4 points, and this is going to be his first foul. Murphy, guarded by Hiroshima. Murphy now drives in. He likes to put it on the deck. Ball batted out of bounds. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Basketball inbounded to Echenike. Fotu on his back, goes off 1 foot, and good defense from the New Zealander. Now Fotu hustles back on defense. Hiroshima has his back and has it knocked away. And good look at Fotu. Fotu rather diving on the floor for the loose ball. Hiroshima left open, and Endo rebounds the miss. So Brex with a 2-point lead, getting some extra opportunities. And now the basketball, well, almost turned over. Endo keeps it, puts it up, and Echenike rebounds, but his pass, he led Hiroshima a little too much there, and that's the type of thing you encounter when you're struggling a little bit. Unforced turnover is what you would call that. At this point in the season, those two players should be on the same page. Shuhei Kitagawa checks into the game, number 31. For Brex. Scott, oh, what a spin move from the big fella, number 40. Well, he just produces in so many ways, but especially with his scoring, his rebounding, his overall tenacity. Great leader in this team. Now stepping back and missing. Fotu with the rebound. Ikaruga to Fotu with a jump hook. And Fotu off to a fast start today. Not just with his offense. You saw him diving on the floor for the loose ball. So he's got 4 points. And Hiroshima calling timeout. 4 points for Indo, 4 points for Fotu. And here's Scott again with his spin move, driving in and getting his first 2 of the day. Well, one of the things that really hurt this Hiroshima team in their meeting yesterday was the hegemony on the boards for Brex. They just really took it to them, grabbing 43 rebounds, led by Josh Scott's 12. Just 26 boards overall for Hiroshima. And if you're winning the rebounding battle that decisively, that is not good news for the team on the lower end of that scale. 17 of their 43 rebounds came on the offensive end. So we've already seen signs of that again today. Brex getting after the basketball on the offensive glass, getting some second and third opportunities. So coming out of the timeout, let's see what Hiroshima do. Murphy gets it and it brought Charles Jackson in. That's one thing that you can do, bring in one of your top players. Jackson wastes no time getting his first 2 points. Jackson, the big center, posting up down low, going up against Scott. Mayo still in the game as well, so a little bit of size out there. And Utsunomiya taking a seat. And ball batted out to Kitagawa. Now back to Indo. Indo to Fotu. And that was a long jump hook from just in front of the free throw line. Hiroshima drives in, a little teardrop. Wow, what a finish that was. Now the pass looped into Scott. And just way too easy for Brex and Kyle Milling. And now the turnover with Scott coming up. And Hiroshima just a little bit confused right now when they've got the basketball.
Hiroshima 0番寺島パサファール1つ目チームファール1つ目選手の交代宇都宮13番20番
Thomas Kennedy now coming into the game.
交代しました広島選手の交代です1番トーマス・ケネディ入りました
Kasuke Takeuchi comes in as well. Japan International. So Chase Feeler with a thumbs up.
Shot clock 22秒から試合を再開していきます。
And the three-point shot is good. So Kitagawa piles on the agony. Whip it around. And Hiroshima in a little bit of bother right now. They need to stabilize things here quickly. And now Charles Jackson with the moving screen. Feeler gets down to the baseline, puts it up and in. And the size factor really is, they are struggling to contend, trying to hold off this Utsunomiya Brex outfit. And another offensive foul. Gives the basketball right back to Utsunomiya Brex. And it was Mayo coming up for the high screen or the pick. So 9 points already, the lead for Utsunomiya Brex, and we still got more than 3 minutes to go in this first quarter. Kennedy coming out and putting some pressure out on the perimeter. Here's Josh Scott. Josh Scott catches and puts it up and scores. Oh, a nice finish from the veteran big. Mayo, thankfully, for Hiroshima fans, breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief. Things were starting to look pretty grim. And losing the basketball was Watanabe, and quickly on the break, Hiroshima. He's not going to miss that. Finally, a little bit of life. You know that Hiroshima want to get out and run. Cross court over to Takeuchi. Takeuchi leaves his feet, tries to get the basketball to Scott. And now the quick outlet to Kennedy, who is fouled. Kitagawa stepped in front trying to impede his progress, which he did, but he committed the foul.
宇都宮31番、北川パーサンファウル1つ目、チームファウル2つ目。宇都宮選手の交代、42番。ありがとうございます。ショットクロック20秒。最大でボール広島。
Here's Mayo. Again, catches it back from Murphy. He's got Chase Feeler on him. Oh, tough shot. Feeler had his hands up defensively like you're supposed to, and now it's Utsunomiya Brex's turn to turn the basketball over. So you can see this Norio Sasa is calling the shots from the sideline today with Ryotsu Anzai unavailable for Utsunomiya Brex, their coach, and checking in Kai Taves for Brex. Well, you know, as things were looking rather bleak at the start of the game for Hiroshima, they are trailing now by 6 points. Another basket will pull them to within 4, maybe even 3 if they hit a 3. Charles Jackson trying to catch the basketball. You can see that Yasunori Aoki checked into the game, number 4. And the three-pointer does not drop for Suji. Chase Feeler, he can put it up, he's going to put it down. Now he's going to step back and go to drive in and out. Nick Mayo with the rebound, hands it off quickly. Suji over to Kennedy. cross court. Mayo. Oh, what a nice shot from Nick Mayo. Much better for the Dragonflies as Mayo banks in the mid-range jump shot. And Milling seems as if he's found a little bit of a rotation here that has a little bit better rhythm and certainly better execution, forcing Utsunomiya to call timeout with 48.4 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. Here's another look at this latest basket. See, Mayo doesn't have the three as Takeuchi comes out, so he takes a couple dribbles and bam, banks in the jump shot. So timeout for Brex, and much needed early recovery here for Hiroshima. You lose when you play yesterday, then you fall behind, right around double digits. You don't want to let this thing get out of hand early. So they have had that recovery and certainly have the wind in their sails right now. So Mayo, 7 points following that latest jump shot for him. And he's leading all scorers in the game. Three-point shot goes off, and Kennedy rebounds it. I'm sure that's what you're looking for coming out of the timeout. And good penetration once again, and using the glass and scoring Tsuji. And now just a 2-point game. So Norio Sasa gonna have a lot to talk about in the huddle at timeout in between the change of quarters, which will be coming up soon. Kai Taves. Tonabe. Back to Taves. Left open. And another chance to run and tie, and a bump and a foul on Kai Taves with 2.8 seconds remaining. Just the third team foul, not a bad foul. So the final 2.8 seconds, Mayo from a long way out. He had a good look, didn't he? That would have been 3 and would have given his team the lead, but it hits the front of the rim, the back, and the backboard and stays out. Nevertheless, much better from Hiroshima. It's Utsunomiya leading it 19-17 over Hiroshima at the end of 1. So Nick Mayo with 7 points, leading all scores for Hiroshima Dragonflies. Utsunomiya Brex, meanwhile, getting a little bit of scoring from everybody at this point. 4 points from Endo, 6 from Josh Scott, 4 from Isaac Fotu. Kitagawa has the three-pointer. In fact, his team's only three-pointer, just 1 of 6 from deep. And nice little rally here. And again, you can tell that this Hiroshima team does like to get out and run. A couple of times in that first quarter, we've seen that. And then you saw that cross-court pass leading to the Nick Mayo basket. We talked about the rebounding, how impactful that always is, and certainly was yesterday. And Brex again with more rebounds, 4 of their 8 rebounds coming on the offensive glass. They're out rebounding Hiroshima 8-5 at this point. Second quarter action underway. Fotu takes it down low, back outside to Ikaruga, who drives in, and oh boy, a couple of mistakes there. First of all, nobody stepped in front of Ikaruga to pick it up, and when he missed it, nobody found Fotu to keep the big man off the glass. Jackson fouled by Chase Feeler.
Utsunomiya 20番チェイス・フィーラーパーサーファウル1つ目チームファウルこのクォーター1つ目ショットブロック10秒for Hiroshima.
Hiroshima inbound the basketball to Jackson. Jackson again going to work, passes to Kennedy. And Jackson, and Boer calling a hook on Chase Feeler to get some freedom. Not allowed to do this. Watch his left arm. And it was an easy call for the referee. Brex having the ball knocked away. It's Hiyajima turning it over. On the dump to Jackson. Great hustle back down by Fotu, who again just does all aspects of the game well. Could even shoot it from deep if you want him to, but he's going to be operating primarily on offense in and around the lane. But we've seen him diving on the floor for the loose balls. We've seen him hustling back right there to knock away a potential layup. Tsuji looks for space. And Tsuji took it all the way. Jackson, great job getting the rebound, passing out to Kennedy, who launches it, and he's also a little bit upset. He felt like Jackson had stepped out of bounds. Well, they did call the turnover on Jackson. Well, that was earlier, in fact. Almost had his second turnover in a row. There is Echnike coming up with the basketball, quickly zipping the ball up to Kennedy. And the passing a little more crisp right now. Aoki clangs it off the cup. Now Feeler spins. Wide open Indo from the left corner. Boy, that is good basketball right there from Utsunomiya Brex, who again now pushing their lead back up to 7 points. Aoki gets that three right back. Just what the doctor ordered here in Hiroshima. An offensive foul called on Indo. He wasn't set. And he fouled Aoki, who not only buries the three, but goes to the other end and makes a big defensive play. Just got back in the game for Brex, as well as Watanabe. As Norio Sasa, again, who's coaching today in place of Ryutsu Anzai, calls the shots. Oh, what a pass that was from Tsuji. Jackson fouled as he's going to the line, but this is all Naoto Tsuji. Naoto Tsuji. Some real razzle-dazzle from number 3. Got into the paint and then flicks it over his right shoulder to Jackson, who is then fouled by Ikaruga. Jackson at the free throw line. They've been much better since he entered the game. But his free throw attempt rattles out. And he does get the second to go. So 3 points to deficit facing Hiroshima. And we're trying to bounce back from yesterday's loss and also the 5 consecutive losses, but things aren't going to turn around if they can't figure out what to do with Isaac Fotu, who's showing you what to do. Getting inside and scoring. He has been a problem, to put it mildly. His activity has been off the charts. Murphy misses. There's Jackson for the rebound. He is bumped as he goes up. And a little bit of a late whistle, but he got Jackson, so he's going to be happy with that. He was not in position to get the rebound, but he didn't give up on it. I guess he was a little bit fortunate the ball bounced out. So Kitagawa back in the game, number 31, and Jackson, the big center. The second trip to the line, and just like last time, he misses his attempt. Former Tennessee Tech big man, 28 years of age, 2.08 meters in height, misses both free throws. Watanabe and Echinike able to put his body on Scott and keep him away from the basketball. Scott hustles down to play against Jackson. Here's Echinike. It feels like they need to get Echinike maybe a touch or two in that low post. Hiroshima's drive, not there, and Fotu with another board. Six rebounds for Isaac Fotu. 3-point shot, and Watanabe, or Kitagawa rather, off target. Another board for Echinike. So he's got a couple of rebounds. Has yet to score. Hiroshima. Oh. And the foul called on Echinike. Nick Mayo going to come back into the game. Chase Feeler as well for Brex. Takeuchi and Hirohide Araya coming into the game. Araya makes his first appearance. 5-point lead for Utsunomiya Brex, but the same issues that plagued Hiroshima yesterday have been present today, and that is maybe a little bit effort down low, especially as regards to the rebounds. see how they fare with the Fotu out of the lineup for Brex. Here's Scott, and Scott gets denied down low. Great defense. Murphy coming down to help out, and now hands it off. And Murphy, he sees it, and he turned what looked like a pretty easy layup into a difficult one. Switched hands, and that leads to the break. Feeler catches it before it goes out of bounds. Game picking up a little bit. Dribbling, and could not get it to drop Araya, but the basketball, where's he going to go? Brex arguing it should be their possession. Well, we got a timeout. And referees will talk about this. Kyle Milling now, they're a little bit upset. I think they feel like it should be their basketball. But Milling also using this opportunity to complain about the fouls. And I think the referee very politely showing some nice patience with the American coach who goes over to the bench. So you see Nick Mayo with the 7 points, leading all scorers. Hiroshima with 6 points. And Aoki has that 3-pointer. Well, Brex, meanwhile, you could see with their scoring as well. Endo, Scott, and Fotu. There he is. Fotu has, again, been contributing right across the board and getting a well-deserved breather here midway through the second quarter. Well, you got two teams right now kind of moving in different directions. 5-game winning streak for Utsunomiya, and looking to make it 6. Hiroshima trying to snap this losing streak. Araya, and the ball batted, and nice defense. Hiroshima gets in down low, pulls up in the paint, and banks it in. Hiroshima, rather. The latest Hiroshima Dragonfly to use the backboard. Takeuchi left open, so he hits the jump shot just behind the free throw line. So, the big Japan international, the veteran, his first couple of points. Nick Mayo. And off the front of the iron, only rebounding there from Brex. Only white shirts. It was Araya. Now Feeler. Araya gets it over to Takeuchi. He thought about launching it. Watanabe couldn't resist, and the rebound from Masayama. Hiroshima. And now from the right wing, Murphy misses. And dribbling down low and answering. Nice reaction on the counter, Watanabe. Well, I'm not sure what Coach Norio Sasa is discussing, but he has to be happier with the way his team has responded after the wake-up call for Hiroshima. Utsunomiya back in front by 7 points. Each team with a couple of three-pointers. Brex 11 of 17, now 12 of 18, in fact, in front of, inside the arc, rather, 12 of 18, 8 of 16 for Hiroshima. Charles Jackson, the only player to go to the free throw line, and he is 1 of 4 for Hiroshima. But overall, just a better all-round performance. The one thing you have to say about Hiroshima, which has kind of kept them in the game, has been their defense. They've come out, their guard play coming out and getting 6 steals to just 1 for Brex. Fotu's 7 rebounds, leads all the players in the game. Echenike has 3 for this Dragonflies outfit. And driving in and very cleverly getting the foul called as he hesitated was Naoto Tsuji. Takeuchi was trailing him and ran into him. There he is. He just kind of pauses, steps in front, make sure he gets a little contact and gets to the free throw line. Well, they're all important right now, folks. You're at the free throw line, you're trailing, you're struggling. You need to make those free throws. Tsuji gets the first one to drop. And Naoto Tsuji makes the second. So reduces the arrears to just 5 points, less than 3 minutes remaining in this opening quarter between battles of teams that are in 4th place in their respective divisions. Utsunomiya, the hotter of the 2 teams, and also the winner of yesterday's game. Scott goes out. Now Araya. And his pass intended for Scott gets away. And another opportunity for Millings, Hiroshima. Tsuji just had the 2 free throws. Hands it off to Mayo. Kennedy over to Hiroshima. He's a difficult player to guard out there. You can see Brex sitting in a zone, so challenging or just daring Hiroshima to put up the 3-pointer, trying to take away those that interior game, and they did so with good effect. Wide open 3. And Watanabe's missed, rebounded by Mayo. Three-point shot, and Hiroshima rips the nets. And just like that, it's a 2-point game, 1:41 remaining. And Norio Sasa, he's seen enough. He calls another timeout for Brex. Well, if there's one thing that we know about that man right there, Hiroshima, he is not afraid to make plays. Left wide open, he buries it. So Hiroshima, he now has 11 points to lead all scorers in the game. 7 points. 7 points for Nick Mayo, and you can also see Tsuji has been very active out there with 4 points. Endo with the 7 points. Scott 6. Eight for Fotu to lead the visitors today. Kai Taves checking back into the game, as well as Hiojima. Mario Sasa calling the shots. Into the corner it goes, and Hiroshima misses, and a chance now. If Hiroshima can hit a three-pointer, they'll take the lead. Boy, that'll get the crowd going. They've done a good job. Things haven't really gone their way, but they've continued to battle. And quick pass to Jackson, who's back in to finish this first half. Hiroshima gets it over to Suji. He launches. That was a shot they would have paid for, but he failed to knock it down. Now Feeler drives in and misses, and Jackson hustles down for the rebound. Less than a minute remaining now, just 47 seconds. Hiroshima gets around Kai Taves in the paint. Oh boy, Hiroshima again, another one. This time he misses inside the paint. So about a 12-second differential, the game clock and the shot clock. Kai Taves. Ukaruga. His pass batted, but remains with Brex. 5 on the shot clock. They got to hurry. Here goes Scott. And, oh boy, look at that. How in the world? I mean, he is almost unstoppable at times. He can catch the basketball in the paint, drive to the basket with the spin, score, and get to the line as well. So an N1 coming. And Jackson just did not move his feet on defense there, and the spin move from Scott just freed him right up. You can see today he's gone to that play several times. He does not make the free throw, so Hiroshima can pull to within 2, maybe even 1 here at the end. Final seconds ticking off the clock. 3-point shot. So Hiroshima finishes a little cold at the end of the first half, and it's Utsunomiya Brex leading it 32-28. Well, we're at halftime, folks. 32-28. Utsunomiya Brex on top of Hiroshima. Brex on a current winning streak here, 4th in the East. And looking the part right now against a struggling Hiroshima team trying to find its rhythm. But their 5-game losing streak has not been good. They were 18-10, now 18-15, and really kind of in danger of falling out of the playoff spots. Or not making it to the playoffs. But anyway, we'll take a break, and we'll be right back. Well, Utsunomiya Brex on top by 4 points. At halftime, you could see Nick Mayo getting in on the action early on with 7 points. And Indo turning on the style early on as well for the team from the East Division. And some good signs tonight from Hiroshima. See Yusunori Aoki hitting that three-pointer. And they did come to life with Hiroshima getting the steal in the open floor, banking one in. He was a live wire, Hiroshima, not just on the break, but also in the half court, hitting that three-pointer. They could certainly do with a few more threes falling. But worryingly is always the presence of number 40 for Utsunomiya Brex, Josh Scott, who, again, is wreaking havoc and scoring important points and getting important rebounds. He got that basket late. So you could look at the numbers, and nothing to shout about for either team in terms of three-point shooting. Brex, though, shooting 65% inside the arc. Just 2 more rebounds, so Hiroshima have actually addressed that issue, which plagued them yesterday. And Brex overall with just a 4-point lead at this stage. 9 assists for Brex, and overall, it's been a solid rebound. Again, on the offensive glass, if they can keep this Brex team off the offensive boards, that'll help them. But spend the play of Fotu and Scott, when those guys get going, you can see that it's really difficult for Hiroshima. So Scott, again, 8 points. And Fotu doing his business as well. Hiroshima has 11 points to lead all scores. Fotu has the 8 points. He's got the 7 rebounds, and Suji has the 4 assists to lead the way in that department, also to go with his 4 points. So all things considered, Hiroshima have held it together. They haven't been blown out, but you could see that they struggle at times when they need a stop. When Brex get the basketball inside to Fotu or to Josh Scott, and then they've had a couple of opportunities to pull level or take the lead, and they just haven't been able to get that shot to drop. But as always, defense and rebounding will be crucial in these games, and it will certainly be big in this second quarter. And you would think that with Hiroshima, it is crucial that they get out to a good start here at the start of the third quarter. Hijima has yet to score a basket today for Brex. Missed his only 2 attempts. And third quarter action underway, folks. Thanks for joining us. If you've had a halftime break, it's a 4-point lead for Utsunomiya Brex over Hiroshima Dragonflies. Hiroshima starting things off, and how about Murphy coming out with a confident stroke at the start, the three-pointer. Back to a 1-point game. Scott. This is his first points, Murphy, in fact, in the game. Fotu prevents the turnover, gets it over to Indo. Oh boy, he just has a way of being a thorn in the opponent's side. And late in the shot clock, hitting a three-pointer. Nothing more deflating for a team that's trying to come back to hit a three, only for the other team to go and hit a three. Now the cross-court pass, and boy, it's the three-point shootout that has started here. Hiroshima from the left corner, right in front of his own bench. Well, Isaiah Murphy called for the foul. The reach. For two, hands it off to Endo, who drives in and is short now. Murphy bumped as he crosses midcourt. Echinike has a double team. Somebody's got to be open. It is, tries to get the basketball over to Tsuji, but they were alert to the play, Ikaruga. So 4.9 seconds remaining here on the shot clock. Hiroshima inbounds the basketball. Tsuji gets it back to Hiroshima for three. Count it! Third three-pointer of this third quarter for Hiroshima. They've taken the lead 37-35. Let's see how that changes the complexion of the game. See if they can build on this positive start. Miyajima gets it over to Endo. Endo puts up a crazy pass, or a crazy shot rather. Nick Mayo. And then Nick Mayo a little fortunate there, as Hiroshima comes up with the reach and is whistled for the foul. Not sure how much contact was made there. Got Mayo might want to get the basketball into the guard's hands. Nevertheless, the foul called on Hiroshima. Hiroshima again, this time inside the arc, and I would not be surprised if we were to see a Brex timeout here shortly. Ikaruga, his pass out to the perimeter, it goes right into the hands of Hiroshima, who goes in and, well, Hiroshima gets back on defense and prevents the layup, but is whistled. So a second quick foul here, and it's the team here in Hiroshima that have come out with all the energy after halftime. Not too bad, the defense there offered by Hiroshima as he got back to prevent the fast break and then reached in. The contact was made, and they say that it was initiated. Certainly that Hiroshima was guilty of the foul. Now Hiroshima hits the free throw, and clearly he is the straw that stirs this Hiroshima drink. He is doing it all right now from a scoring standpoint, from an energy standpoint, getting out on the break, hitting the threes, hitting the late shots. And again, it has changed the complexion of this game. Getting that lead and now pressing it. They were down by 4 points. Yajima. Josh Scott with the rebound. He's blocked by Mayo as he goes back up. Ball goes out of bounds. Fotu, and when in danger or when in trouble, go to big bad Isaac Fotu, number 42. Murphy, who got it going with that three-pointer right at the start. A little interplay there with Nick Mayo. And now he turns it over. Good defense by Fotu, but then the ball intercepted again. And look at this. It's going to be Murphy going in for the dunk after the pass from Hiroshima. And if it wasn't working in the first half for Hiroshima, it is working in the second. Even after turning the basketball over, they get it right back and go in for the layup. And hopes are high that this losing streak is going to be snapped today as they head over to the bench, but a long way to go before that happens. So Hiroshima, Hiroshima, not sure who he was throwing the basketball to because nobody was looking. They were just kind of coasting over. Naori Sasa has to call the timeout to try to stop the bleeding. 21 points for Hiroshima, and we are early in the third quarter. He could put up a huge number today. Came in averaging 11.1 points per game. For Brex, you can see the scoring as well. Nothing like what we're seeing from Hiroshima today. He came in averaging 11.1 points, 2.4 rebounds, 4.3 assists. And today he's got 21 points and the 1 assist. So he is feeling it. And that is good news for Hiroshima. Brex with plenty of time to turn this around. So Hiroshima, after a very tough start to the third quarter, he's going to come out of the game. Shuhei Kitagawa comes in. So to his pass intercepted. Hiroshima just stepping into the passing lanes. He's got 23 points, folks. This is a big story developing here in Hiroshima. Hiroshima just taking on the world. Now Endo in the corner. Gets in the paint with a little running hook and over-the-shoulder pass to Josh Scott. Brex were slow out of the gate in this third quarter, looking to shift it into a higher gear so they can match zero there. Echenike, who's into the game now, fouled. And that is not a bad idea as well to try to get Echenike involved. Especially if he's being guarded one-to-one. The double teams, that's when Echenike has to make sure he gets rid of the basketball quickly. Well, Echenike is going to go out, and Charles Jackson is going to come back into the game. Jackson did pretty well in the first half, other than his attempts at the line where he was just 1 of 4. Into the corner, Suji, and Jackson couldn't rebound it. Jackson hustles back though. Nobody picks up the shooter. And burying it from a long way out, Watanabe. And back to a 3-point game. It can turn around quickly. Hiroshima. Little runner. Oh boy, he missed the layup. Jackson couldn't hold on to the ball. Now Endo. Ooh. Very close to traveling. Scott. Back to the basket game, going up against Jackson. Turns, and Jackson, a little bit better job that time. Hiroshima avoids Watanabe, or Kitagawa. And Murphy over to Hiroshima, bounce pass to Jackson, hesitates, goes up, and 1. That's right, folks. And what you like more than anything else about that offensive set Hiroshima passing the basketball, making that defense work. Takeuchi comes in. So it's Paul Jackson, where he takes his time this time and makes the free throw. The second made free throw of the game, and it's back to a 6-point advantage for Hiroshima. They just look like a completely different team in the second half, due in large part to the play of Hiroshima. And you can see how it's contagious. It rubs off on his teammates. They look better as well. Feeler. And very tough shot taken by Chase Feeler. Basketball goes out of bounds. I think it's really to Brex's advantage when they feed that low post and get it to Scott and Fotu rather than settling for contested jump shots. So Hiroshima with a chance to build on their advantage. Murphy. Hiroshima gets it to Jackson. And Jackson goes off the wrong foot and still makes it. Banks it in, and it's an 8-point lead. Scott elects to take it back outside, and Feeler misses from 3-point range. Norio Sasa. I'm not sure if he's going to get another timeout as Hiroshima goes right down the paint. He is in attack mode right now, folks. He is like a house on fire, taking the lead up to 52-42. Goodness me. Hiroshima, 25 points. Pouring them in as Hiroshima just grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck. I mean, they have outscored Utsunomiya Brex by 14 points here in this third quarter. So much happier here inside the green arena, and Feeler, he's missed a couple, and Hiroshima just needs no invitation to hustle down the floor, the rebound and run, and again, just playing like an all-star today. So Hiroshima, 25 points, 10 of 14 from the floor. 3 of 4 from 3-point range. He's got the 4 assists. He has been terrific. He's been breathtakingly good, and just seems to be playing at a different speed to not only everybody in this Brex team, but also everybody in his own team. He has been like a lightning bolt. And now that Jackson is in, he's going to try to offer that interior presence to really, I mean, this is where you have to watch yourselves against this Brex team. You really think that they would want to get the basketball inside to Scott, but we shall see. They've gone to Feeler the last 2 times. Hiroshima back in the game. It'll be a tough loss for Brex, having played so well of late. Here's Scott, and further misery for the visitors. And remember, it all started in the second half with that 3-pointer that was made by Murphy, who looked out of sorts in the first half. And when you have a player that comes out and looks completely different in the second, it starts to rub off. Here he is passing it down low to Mayo, and Mayo goes to work and can't get the drop. He'll be frustrated. He knows he should have probably made that one. Feeler on the break, and Hiroshima from the left corner. That'll boost his confidence. Murphy dribbling around, needs to find his guard, gets it back. And all of a sudden, Hiroshima in a little bit of a hurry, I think unnecessarily. Hiroshima from 3-point range, back-to-back for the Japan International, and suddenly he has a different face, and suddenly this game is back to a much more manageable 4-point deficit for Brex. back-to-back threes for Hiroshima. And I don't understand what the thinking was for Hiroshima. They really were in a rush. Their last two offensive possessions, well, their last possession, and you could see that when Hiroshima went out of the game before, after making a few mistakes, he looked a little bit disheveled, a little bit dismayed. Since coming back in, he's, great job by Coach Norio Sasa to keep faith with his veteran guard, who's come back out and rewarded him with a couple of big shots from three-point range. Haven't seen Funyu today for Hiroshima. We've seen him on the bench, but we haven't seen him in the game. Well, it was all working well with Hiroshima, and I think you need to make sure that you go with the formula. And Kyle Milling a little bit, probably, well, I don't want to speak for him, but you would think frustrated, having seen his team open up a 10-point lead, then give away back-to-back threes. But it all started because of his own team's, the way they were on offense. There's Jackson going to work, following up his miss and dunking it. Nice job getting it down low to his big fella. Jim with the dump to Scott. And Scott fouled by Jackson. Yeah, I thought it was a bit silly saying it was on the floor. I could see why he was arguing that the foul was before the shot. Utsunomiya, meanwhile, comes back into the game. So 3 fouls on Jackson. He goes out. Suji back in, number 3. Murphy comes out. And Great Scott at the line makes the first. Averaging 16.3 points per game and 10.4 rebounds per game. And he's now got 12 points. Only 2 rebounds today, though. Aoki also in the game now for Hiroshima, number 4. And good defense offered here by Brex. Aoki has it, bounce pass to Mayo, and goes out of bounds. And you almost wonder if Aoki could have taken a shot himself. And I'm wondering if that's what Nick Mayo is thinking. You like to make that extra pass, but sometimes if you've got that open look, especially in the paint, you want to take it. Good hustle pass down to Takeuchi. And Takeuchi, it wasn't pretty, but it was effective. Hiroshima in danger of losing that big lead. And Kennedy, Echenike with the rebound. Kennedy again. This time his 3 falls. Boy, you cannot stress enough how important that shot was. Hiroshima needing a little bit of a lift, with Brex having cut a 10-point deficit to just 2 points. So that takes it back up to 5. Now the dump and Scott. And the answer is always going to be Scott for Brex. There's no doubt about it. And really, that's where Hiroshima have to be aware, in my opinion, that Scott is going to be the man that's going to get those tough points. Echinike, double team, gets it back outside. Quick pass to Mayo. And Mayo just did not finish. And good hands, good hustle by Aoki to knock the pass out of bounds. It's interesting with Brex riding the 5-game winning streak and the 5-game losing streak for Dragonflies. The mental game, the psyche of these two teams, the confidence. And you're seeing some perhaps more confident playing from behind by Brex here. And a little bit of uncertainty in the ranks for Hiroshima. Not really that comfortable. They can tie it with a 3-pointer here, Brex. And Aoki commits to foul a long way from the basket. And Nori Watanabe didn't look too happy with that last foul. So it's going to be Endo. He's going to inbound it. See if he can get it right back after the inbounds pass. Nope, it's going to be Watanabe. He's going to launch it. And Mayo. It's going to go up too late. Doesn't matter. Hiroshima resting up for the fourth quarter, folks. He has been doing the business today. 57-50 for Hiroshima on top of Utsunomiya Brex. 10 minutes remaining. Well, as we look at Hiroshima and the man that has provided the 25 points for the home team today, the big question is, when does he go back into the game, and how long can Coach Kyle Milling afford for him to be out of the game? He doesn't have any foul trouble, just one foul. He's got 3 steals and 4 assists to go with his 25 points in his 23 minutes and 48 seconds of action today. And I suppose one consideration may be that he averages about 18.5 minutes per game, and he's already played almost 24 minutes today. But my guess would be that he's got plenty of fuel in the tank. And maybe the danger of keeping him out any longer is that he does cool off a little bit. He loses. But I'm guessing that Kyle Milling knows his player a lot better than I do, what he can do and when the best time is to bring him back into the game. My guess would be that he will be back into the game after a couple of minutes, and he will certainly come back into the game if Brex reclaim the lead. Here he is. Look at him. Rebounds, takes it all the way. He's probably been the one player that hasn't been stopped today. The only thing that has stopped him has been himself when he's missed shots. Hiyajima went from cold to hot. Good to see Makoto Hiyajima get it going like he has for his national team as well, Japan, on so many occasions. And again, that was a huge 3-pointer for Kennedy. Echinike just is probably not going to bring you the points because the double teams come and he's has to get rid of it quickly. Fourth quarter action underway. Chase Feeler, who's been pretty quiet today. Endo, or Ikaruga. Okay, the pass inbounded to Ikaruga. Again, Utsunomiya Brex can tie it with a 3. Feeler feeling his way And another foul down low.
23番佐渡原パサファール1つ目チームファウルこのクォーター2つ目
And this one on Ryo Sadohara, who's just checked into the game to play for the first time. So it's Tsuji and Aoki right now, the guards, with Hiroshima out. And this time they're able to inbound the basketball for an easy layup. So not a good start for Hiroshima here at the start of the fourth quarter. Aoki. Tsuji popped out. Doesn't pass on the basketball. 6 on the shot clock. Kennedy. Will it be 2 for him? Nope. Rebound for 2, and Brex can reclaim the lead. Watanabe to Feeler. Wide open shot, and Ikaruga off target, but the rebound by Fotu. His pass gets away. Fotu is an interesting one. The way he started today, you would have thought, I guess if he played a lot of minutes, he would be up in the 20-point, 10-rebound category. But he's played 19 minutes. He's got 10 points and 9 rebounds. Here's Echinike. Echinike living dangerously, going up against Fotu. Fotu sets to pick, he rolls. And pass intercepted by Echinike, and now the pass by Aoki batted away. And it's going to lead to an easy layup for Fotu, and Brex take the lead. Well, 13 points off the turnovers now, and that leads to the reintroduction of Hiroshima. And I really guess Milling just wanted to get him as many minutes of rest as possible before getting him back in here in the fourth quarter, but he just cannot wait any longer with his team now trailing. But the plus side is he's had the hot hand, Hiroshima. You just hope that he continues to have it. He's got 25 points. 3-point shot, and Shogo Asayama's attempt off the rim. Watanabe. Kennedy grabs the miss. Hiroshima spins to get away from Fotu. Now over to Kennedy, passes up the 3, and he's fouled by Feeler. First team foul of this fourth quarter for the Brex.
20番フィーラーパサファウル2つ目チームファウルこのクォーター1つ目広島選手の交代10番ジャクソン選手そして24番メイヨ選手あります
So Asayama and Echinike go out, Mayo and Jackson back in the game, so you've got good size on the court for Dragonflies along with Tsuji and Hiroshima. Here's Mayo. Oh, looked like an extra step there. And I think they're going to call the travel. Indeed they do. Here he goes. He looks good to this point. Not just one step too many. And he knew it as well. Murphy comes back in. So Tsuji goes out. So it's Hiroshima and Murphy in the backcourt, and Fotu loses it. Well, that was a bullet dodged. It looked like an easy 2 for Utsunomiya. Josh Scott back into the game for Chase Feeler. Sasa calling the shots today. for Utsunomiya Brex. Ryutsu Anzai not on the bench. Head coach. Hiroshima gets it to Jackson, who's going to work now and decides not to. And hands it off to Hiroshima. Oh, boy. That time they had it guarded. And the basketball now with Brex. Fotu gets it to Endo. Quick pass to Fotu. Hands off to Josh Scott. How was it knocked away at the last second? Great defense. I think it was Kennedy. The execution on offense suddenly not there, and the turnover for Kennedy. And the break. Oh, nice pass back to Scott. And Jackson commits the foul. Scott does not make it, so he goes to the line for a couple of free throws.
広島ドラゴンフライズ、チャールズ・ジャクソン選手、5ファウルでファウルアウトになります。チームファウル3つ目。
Nice behind the back pass.
ファウルにつき、宇都宮にフリースロー2ショットが与えられます。
So Jackson out of the game. He's got 4 fouls. And Scott takes it up to a 2-point lead. Echenike back in. Excuse me. Yep. And makes the second as well. Makes it a 3-point advantage. Kennedy, Hiroshima. Here he is. That's what they needed. Nope. He's looking for a foul. Oku takes it back outside. See if they can get Scott here late in the shot clock. The high pick for Hiyajima. He's going to roll. Hiyajima's looking. It's out to Endo. Down low to Scott. Shot clock about to expire. Scott just inside the arc, hits a long 3. He is just so good in those clutch moments. And suddenly a 5-point lead for Utsunomiya. Remember, they trailed by as many as 10 points in this second half. Murphy gets inside and fouled, so he gets a couple of free throws.
Utsunomiya 42番、フォーテン選手、パスファウル4つ目、チームファウル3つ目。
For 2, 4 fouls, so he is going to take a seat. And Feeler comes back in, reinserted by Coach Norio Sasa. Also coming back into the game, Hironori Watanabe. Well, you can see where Kyle Milling has come from by sitting down Terashimi earlier at the end of the third and the start of the fourth. And the guys that he had playing are good players. But I would think certainly when you sit down, your player's got 25 points. You want to get him a breather, but you also don't want him to cool off and for the team to lose the rhythm. And I just wonder if maybe that's what's happened a little bit. Because they were definitely, they were flying when he was in the game. Now, Murphy gets 1 of 2. It's got to be about the defense. And there's Murphy knocking it away from Hiyajima. Good afternoon in Japan, B.LEAGUE action, and Hiyajima, does he know? He avoids the turnover. Ikaruga, he does not, however. Look at Scott, though. He gets on the ground, excuse me. And the jump ball possession arrow, it's going to favor Hiroshima. Well, does Hiroshima have any more big shots left in him here? His team could use them right now. And Shuhei Kitagawa comes back into the game as well for Brex, number 31. Hiroshima gets it to Mayo. Mayo bounce pass. Echenike, the big bad Venezuelan, throws it down. And Echenike, wondering if he was a little bit worried that he had done some damage to the rim, to the backboard, or to the whole apparatus. He hung around out there. Those things are supposed to withstand the pressure, but that is a lot of weight going up there. Well, incredibly, that's the first 2 points of the game for Echenike. Came in averaging 10.6 points per game, 7.3 rebounds. See Charles Jackson looking over. I think they are just doing a little bit of an investigation on the basket support just to make sure that everything is okay. Watch this again. Mayo zips the pass, bounce pass, and then Echenike just holds on. And it was almost as if something fell on him, and he pointed down to the hardwood, to the referee. Nice pass, though, by Nick Mayo. So, indeed, they are just going to double check and make sure that everything is okay. Once again, watch. He goes up. And to be fair, Echenike, it wasn't like he held on to the rim. But the teams are going to head back over to the bench while stadium officials take a look at the basket. So maybe it was something from the shot clock that fell and became loose. So they're just going to tighten that baby up. Need to make sure that the shot clock is in good stead. Players need to know how much time is on the shot clock. Something must have just fallen off from the shot clock. Maybe it was a screw. They're tightening it back up, and they're going to put it back up. So I don't see this being a long delay. The bigger issue would be if the backboard were to shatter, which has not happened. And again, really, these basket support systems these days can withstand the weight of the big guys like Echenike. And even then, he didn't really hold on to the rim. He could have gone up and held onto it with two hands and really tested that support system. So now that we have a little bit of a break as well, you have to wonder who this might favor. Might it help Hiroshima, or will it help Utsunomiya Brex, or will it not make a difference? But with 4:57 remaining, it's anybody's game at this point. So this Utsunomiya Brex team, having won 9 out of their last 11 games, looking to make it 10 out of their last 12. For Hiroshima, they have been in a funk of late. Losers of 5 of their last 7. And looks like we're going to be okay, ready to start here again. But it really has been a feast or famine year for this Hiroshima team. Started out winning 3 in a row, then lost a game, then won 4 in a row. But then after that, they lost 5 in a row. Then in mid-November, they split a couple of games, and they won 4 in a row. In fact, 7 out of 8, but they have lost their last 5 games. So a big game for them as they try to strengthen their claim for a spot in the postseason playoffs. Still got a long way to go, but they'd like to beat Brex this afternoon. Brex, meanwhile, leading it by 2 and with possession. So after the little bit of a delay, as they check the basket, here's Feeler putting it up, and Josh Scott not able to get to the rebound. Good job by Nick Mayo. Hiroshima. It's the time for him to get it going again. Murphy to Echenike. Here's Kennedy, and he was fouled. A little bit of a collision. Looks like he caught it on the side of his head. Kitigawa.
Utsunomiya 31番、北川パーサーファウル2つ目、チームファウル4つ目。
You can see he's feeling it. He really caught it on the side of the head. Hiyajima comes back in. Hiyajima with the same number of points on his jersey. He's got 6. There's Echenike again, and Scott blocks him. Echenike is much better when he's going straight up strong to the basket than falling away, that's for sure. Hiyajima gets inside, misses, and there's Echenike with the rebound. Hiroshima in the open floor. The D from Chase Feeler. Oh boy, and he does not get the basketball in bounds in time. Hiroshima. Well, that is the type of turnover that will give your coach gray hair. You fight so hard for possession, and then you just do not even get the basketball in bounds. And a heavy drive from Hiyajima, who scores his 7th and 8th points of the game, and now it's a 4-point lead for Brex. Murphy, guarded by Hiyajima, gets it to Echenike, much better. That's what I mean, going to the basket. I think he's much better. Finished that with his left hand, so Echenike is suddenly becoming a factor here in the 4th quarter. Endo. Here goes Scott, spinning his way, and now he'll go to the line. 2:55 remaining.
広島3番辻選手入ります。
Now Tsuji comes back in for the home team. There's Sasa calling the shots today from the bench for Brex, and Josh Scott probably has not been at his best today at the free throw line. He does make 1 of 2, however. Just solid production. Maybe slightly off in his rebounding, but he's got the 19 points. So 3-point advantage. The Brex defense picking up here. Mayo ends up taking a very tough shot. And Feeler not able to get the loose ball. Good hustle, though, from Chase Feeler, giving chase. Yeah, he just could not get there quite in time and landed right at the people, at the feet of the fans who pay the big bucks to watch this game, sitting courtside. Tsuji. Less than 2.5 minutes remaining. There's Hiroshima. Wide open. And it's going to be Tsuji. Good! And back to a 1-point game. Sometimes a team sees a jump shot fall like that, and all of a sudden it lifts their spirits. Let's see if it's going to be the trick. But again, it's got to be at this end where they've got to continue to battle away. Hiroshima going up against Brex. Feeler has passed out to Indo. Like I was Ikaruga, excuse me. Well, this will put him in front if he can nail it. Tsuji over to Hiroshima. Back over to Mayo for 3. Good! Hiroshima, the Dragonflies, back in front with 1.5 minutes remaining. Eighth 3-pointer of the game for Hiroshima. Second 3-pointer of the game for Mayo. I thought we were going to have a timeout, but no timeout. So the ball is in the hands of Hiroshima, and he's looked good in this fourth quarter. Gets it back to Indo. Hiroshima from a wing and misses, and Hiroshima not able to grab it. Is Fotu who picks up the loose ball and ties it up. $14 points for Fotu. Bounce pass to Echenike. And the big fella is fouled as he goes up. So very important free throws coming for Gregory Echenike.
Utsunomiya 40番スコットバサル2つ目。シュートモーション中のファウル付き。広島にフリースロー2ショット。
Foul called on Josh Scott. Remember, Fotu is the player with the 4 fouls. So Echenike takes the first and puts his team back in front. Only makes 1 of 2, however. Hiroshima dangerous out top. Down low to Scott on the baseline, and that is short. And Hiroshima rebounds the miss. Look at this. Final 30 seconds now. What's Utsunomiya going to do? About a 2-second differential in the game clock and the shot clock. So Endo comes out and commits the foul. Real opportunity here for Hiroshima. Now the only problem is as they're over the limit, Utsunomiya, they've put Hiroshima on the free throw line. I believe that's going to be Echenike, who just went 1 of 2. So Echenike gets the first to go. Trying to bear down, concentrate. Huge free throws for this team. He's 2 out of 3 at the line now. This Hiroshima team trying to bounce back from yesterday's defeat and trying to snap a 5-game losing streak against a Brex team that has designs on winning that title this season. No doubt about it. And Echenike with the extended follow-through. And it takes it up to a 3-point advantage with 17.6 seconds remaining. And now the Spectre, what will Norio Sasa do? Will he look for a 3? Will he go for a 2 and then maybe try to get a steal or a quick foul? And the other thing is, will Kyle Milling tell his guys, hey, listen, let's try to get as much time to go off the clock as possible before we foul them, and do not allow them to take a 3-pointer, which would allow them to tie it. A lot of coaches would rather just play defense and not foul. And the other thing is, if you do decide you want to foul and not allow the 3-point shot, you got to make sure you do it when they're not in the act of shooting, so you don't give away 3 free throws. But Brex today from 3-point range, they've had 6 threes. Hiyajima has hit a couple, and Endo has hit a couple. Hiyajima is 2 of 6. Endo is 2 of 3. So it's not like they've really been setting the world on fire today from 3-point range. Well, you might be tempted. You might be tempted to just make sure that both Endo and Hiyajima do not get easy looks from 3-point range. And that's the other thing. What happens if they get the 2? Do you the strategy involved, obviously if they don't score and you get the rebound, then you want to try to avoid being fouled, pass it around, get it across midcourt so you don't commit the violation. But nevertheless, let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to foul so they don't give away a 3-point shot? Endo, no, he's going to drive. No, they're going to get a 3, and oh, look at that. Hiyajima stepped out of bounds. And I'd have to see it again, but it looked like he came from out of bounds to catch the basketball. Tough break for Brex, because they were getting the look that they wanted with Hiyajima. But obviously you can't come from out of bounds and catch a pass that has been made. He already needed to be in bounds. So really, Hiroshima with a golden opportunity here to get the win. They've led by as many as 10 points in this game. They've also trailed by as many as 11 points. So Kai Taves is going to check into the game. Hiyajima is going to sit down. He may re-enter the game if they can get it. If they can come out. I'm guessing that Taves is in there to go for the steal and also maybe to commit the foul. Who are they going to try to foul? Would they try to foul Echenike again, for example? Hiroshima inbounds it. Oh, Thompson. Oh, boy, he got away with a dangerous pass. And Chase Fielder commits the foul with 9.9 seconds left and puts Naoto Tsuji on the line. Tsuji has made his only 2 free throw attempts today. Utsunomiya Brex praying for a miss. It's going to be awfully difficult if this goes in. So stands to reason now that it's a 2-possession game unless Hiroshima were to foul the 3-point shooter, and he made it. If he makes this one, Hiroshima almost home and dry. And indeed he does. Quickly, Kaite's up the floor. He puts it up off the back of the iron, and Hiroshima rebound the miss, and they are going to get a very important win in their season. Losers of 5 straight, driven forward by that man for much of the game, Hiroshima. Hiroshima Dragonflies win it 72-67 over Utsunomiya Brex. Well, for much of this game, really, you could see, well, certainly in the first half anyway, with Utsunomiya, the way they were on top. You could see they were the team that had more rhythm, that they were playing better, and perhaps Hiroshima Dragonflies, a little bit of desperation in their game, not comfortable. But thanks to Hiroshima, they were able to really come out and lower the boom. Murphy hit a big 3-pointer at the start of the third quarter. I thought that was important. But they were just the better team in that third quarter. You could see outscoring Utsunomiya 29-22. That really was the key quarter for me. And, of course, in this fourth quarter, they were able to make enough plays. And Utsunomiya Brex, I think, can play much better. You certainly can't pin the blame on Hiroshima for that turnover at the end of the game, although that would have been clearly a wide open 3-pointer had he not come from out of bounds to catch that ball and to turn it over. So Utsunomiya Brex have their 5-game winning streak snapped. Sasa looks on a little bit frustrated. Probably knows one got away from his team today. And maybe, you know, again, you talk about keys in this game, and you look at the rebounding. Hiroshima 31 rebounds today, 35 for Brex. So they did much better in terms of getting after it on the glass. $15 points off turnovers scored by the home team today, 17 for Brex. And again, no surprise, 40 points in the paint today for Brex, 28 for the home team. You know, a lot more opportunities at the free throw line for Hiroshima, where they were 12 of 17 compared to 5 of 7 for Brex. But maybe one stat that stands out a little bit, Josh Scott, he did have 5 rebounds to go with his 19 points. Perhaps not as influential in that department, but he did have 2 blocks. Nick Mayo, meanwhile, comes out on the court. And Josh Scott as well. So I'm not sure what that was, but Anyway, both teams being recognized, and Scott goes off, and they will live to fight another day. So warm applause for Brex for their visit this weekend to Hiroshima. They'll leave with at least one victory in the bag. You get one of two on the road. That's not too bad.
それでは続きまして、マン・オブ・ザ・マッチ、本日の MVP 発表いたしましょう。発表プレゼンターはこの方、株式会社広島マスター代表取締役会長兼 CEO 松田哲也様です。それではマン・オブ・ザ・マッチの発表は増田様からお願いいたします。
3000人を超えるブースターの皆さん、本当におめでとうござ
So
い
we're
ま
going to
す。
hear
たくさんの外野手ありがとう
some
ございます。
post-game reaction
ナ
here
イスゲームです。ありがとうございました。ぜひこの勢
from
い
the
で
winning team,
最後ま
Hiroshima.
でガンガン走っていただきたいと思うし、私たちも一生懸命応援していきましょう。今日はありがとうございました。それではマン・オブ・ザ・マッチ発表させていただきます。もうお分かりだと思いますが、ナンバー0寺島亮君。
Well, no surprise, we're going to hear from Hiroshima,
寺島選手、コート中央にお願いします。
player of the game, without question.
それでは新型コロナウイルスの感染予防の観点からフライカー列より選手に目録が送られます。
So again, he had the 25 points today, Hiroshima. Most of those scored really in the first three quarters. In fact, I think all of them scored in the first three quarters. And I really thought that might, when he didn't come back into the game
プレゼンター、そして発表いただ
a
きま
little
し
bit
た。
earlier, I thought he
松田様
might
ありがとうござい
lose
ま
his
した。
rhythm and it really might cost his team. But Kyle Milling, he knew exactly what he was doing. As his team did grind out a win at the end. And we're going to listen now to Hiroshima.
放送席、それでは本日のマン・オブ・ザ・マッチ、0番寺島亮選手にお話を伺いたいと思います。勝利おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
まずは率直な
Congratulating him
今日
on
の
the
感想をお
win.
願いします。
本当に、苦しい、時間が続いた中でこうやって最後勝てたのは本当に嬉しいことですし、皆さんのおかげだと思ってます。ありがとうございました。
その中でチーム最多25得点、スリーポイントは4分の3、そしてアシストも5記録しました。
Well,
ご
says
自
it
身
was
の
very
出来はい
hard
か
to
がでしたか？
play this game.
そうですね、ここ最近ちょっとスリーポイントがあんまり安定しなかったんで、今回大事な試合で、こうやって決めれたことは本当に良かったですし、それを出してくれた、選手のアシストがあったんで、皆さんに感謝します。
See the Hiroshima fans there. They're
先ほ
excited
ど
to
も
see
ご
their,
本人の
their
言
player
葉もあ
out
りま
there.
した苦しい
He
時期
talked
が
about
あり
how
ました
the three-point
今日は
shots
この
are
グリーンアリーナで
not
3000
really
人を超える
falling as
ブースター
much
の前で
right
勝利を
now,
共に喜ぶことができま
which
す
is
今の
one
本当
of
に
the
お気持ちはいかがで
issues
しょう
for
いや
this
本当に
team.
ここで勝たないと、後半戦絶対
But
勢い
they're
に乗れないん
gonna
で、ここ
they're
で
gonna
勝
keep
てた
at
ことは
it
本当
and
に
keep putting up
ほ
those
っとします
threes.
し、苦しい期間にこうやってずっとそばにいてくれた
And
皆さんが
eventually they'll find their
のおか
rhythm
げで
again.
こうやって僕たちも頑張れてるんで、これからもたくさんの応援お願いします。
ありがとうございました。本日のマン・オブ・ザ・マッチナンバー0両手のシーバー。
He also said that we were really happy to win this game, and he thanked all the fans for coming out and giving their support today. Their badly needed support as they stopped their 5-game losing streak.
お越しください。
And we're also going to hear from Coach Kyle Milling.
さあそれではまずはご挨拶お願いします。
こんにちは、Dragonflies. It's been a few weeks since our last win at home.
ちょっと久しぶりですが、ホームゲームは。
And in the green arena for the first time, we need a big kachijage on 3.
いや皆さんにグリーンアレの皆さんにですね、やっぱり勝ちジャケを3拍子で言うので、皆さんに勝ちジャケと一緒に言いたいです。
1、2、3、kachijage!
Well, you got to like the fact that he's a cheerleader, not just a coach.
改めて今日の試合振り返っていただけますか。
I'm very proud and very happy for the players tonight because with the schedule we've had and after the quarantine, they are physically and mentally, I know, very tired. And to show up tonight with that kind of energy against one of the most physical teams in the league and to play that kind of defense, I'm very happy to watch that. And so hopefully we can have a couple days off and recover and get ready for Shinsu next week.
そうですね、隔離明けの中ですね、本当難しい状況の中ですね、選手たちが本当に頑張ってくれて、コート上で素晴らしいパフォーマンスをしてくださいましたし、本当に最後の最後まで選手たち戦い抜いてくれましたし、本当に全選手をですね、誇りに思います。で、もう明日からですちょっとだけですけども、ちょっとリカバリーの時間を与えてですね、しっかりと次の新州戦に向けてですね、準備満タンで新州に臨みたいなとは思っています。
会場には3000名を超えるブースターが来てくれました。そして画面の向こうにもたくさんのブースターがこのコートに思いを届けてくれたと思います。広島のブースターの皆さんにメッセージお願いします。
No, but like I said last night, 8 games in 16 days, the players really needed this energy. And I know in the second half, one for me it was fun to be on the sideline, but I know the players, they really felt your energy. And once again, I appreciate your help. All the players appreciate your help, and you guys helped to make it a fun day to be at the arena and play a basketball game. So thank you. ありがとうお願いします。
本当にロードゲームですね、本当にタフなスケジュールの中ですね、本当に選手たちも頑張ってくれたと思いますし、それ以上にですね、皆さんのこのグリーンアリーナのその声援がですね、本当に選手たちの背中を後押ししたと思っています。本当にベンチの後ろ側からも聞こえるような声援がですね、本当に選手の力を押してくれました。また引き続きですね、新数戦ありますので、今後とも声援よろしくお願いします。
ありがとうございました。これからもますますの活躍期待しています。カエルベルガヘッドコーチでした。
Well, Coach Kyle Milling really kind of spelling it out. You know, it's been a difficult time around the world with COVID and with the quarantines, and you know it affects the schedules with the games being postponed. And from the player standpoint, you know they play games, a lot of games in a short space of time, but also have to quarantine. So it's tough on them, not just physically, but mentally to stay into it. And a lot of times when you look at it from the side, you know, when you're not actually out there battling away, you don't really fully appreciate how complicated it might be, or it is, for these players under these conditions. So I think from that standpoint, you know, Kyle Milling, okay, they'd lost 5 in a row, but it's also been a very difficult time. And I think he made a point today to say, hey, listen, you know, when your guys come out today and play defense the way that we did, I could not have asked for anything more. And they really did come out and perform well. And it led to a lot of opportunities, you know, points off turnovers against this good Brex team. And really that was a real key for them as we look back at the highlights of this first half. Again, it was a good effort for two. Scored a lot of points early on, as did Endo, as did Scott. And then you had Aoki hitting that three-pointer. This Hiroshima team, for the first, I'd say 15 minutes, 16 minutes, were not really in the flow, but they were able to pick things up late in the first half, and they came back and really gave a good account of themselves had a chance actually to go to halftime with the lead. Ended up trailing by 4 points. But we saw Hiroshima come out and really kind of just carry the load for them today. Once you saw that move from Josh Scott, you had to worry, because you know that if he's not unstoppable, he is certainly extremely difficult to guard and also to keep off the glass, and really to allow him just to have 5 rebounds today. That was probably a real accomplishment for this Hiroshima team. Hiroshima, meanwhile, just kept it going. And that second half, Murphy, of course, hit that big 3 at the start of the second half. And the Hiroshima was just a terror today. Ended up hitting 3 3-pointers out of his 4 attempts. He was 10 of 16 from the floor overall. Here he was stepping into the passing lane, getting a big turnover and scoring. And that will probably be the biggest disappointment for Brex coach Sasa, as his team did give away some turnovers and points off those turnovers. But even so, they still had a really good chance to win it late. But they just did not make enough plays, and instead it was this Hiroshima team that was able to do just enough to get the win and to snap their 5-game losing streak. It was good to see Hijima come out and stroke back-to-back 3-pointers. And when he did that, that cut a 10-point deficit down to 4. This was the second of those 3-pointers. And then the turnovers plagued them. And you saw that Fotu getting 2 of his 14 points. And then Hijima with that drive. And you really felt like he could be the match winner today, or the game winner, after the 2 threes and then that drive. But that was not the case. And really with Hiroshima going out of the game, they needed some others to step up, like Suji, like Mayo. And that was the key play at the end when they had a chance to tie it. They ran a play. They had Hijima open in the corner, but he was out of bounds when the pass was made, and then he came right out of bounds to catch it, and that was a turnover. So that last 3 by Kai Taves was off target, and it sealed the victory for Hiroshima, who got some also big plays down the stretch from Gregory Echenike. So again, as you look at the stats from this game, the 72-67 win for Hiroshima Dragonflies over Utsunomiya Brex. Maybe the big numbers again to go over, just a 4-point advantage in the rebounding for Utsunomiya Brex, substantially lower than yesterday when they won. A lot more trips to the line for Hiroshima, 12 of 17 compared to 5 of 7 for Utsunomiya Brex. And yeah, they've struggled shooting the basketball from 3-point range, Hiroshima, but today they were 8 of 19, which is, I think, any coach would live with, 42%. I mean, goodness me, there's nothing to complain about, just 6 of 23 for Utsunomiya Brex. And despite 4 more shots made inside the arc, a lot more work done in the paint for Utsunomiya, Hiroshima were able to get the win. So the 4-point disparity there, the number 4 rebounds rather, much better than in the previous encounter. And you see that young fan wearing Suji's number 3. It's always good to see. So Hiroshima with the game high 25 points. Josh Scott had the 19. Fotu had 14. Endo had 10. And both Jackson and Mayo with 10 points. Well, Hiroshima comes out and pours in 25 points per game the rest of the season. I think Hiroshima would take that. I don't think you can you can depend on that happening, but he was not going to be stopped today. And then you had the leaders in terms of points, rebounds, and assists. So, Fotu with a game-high 11 rebounds. And you have the upcoming schedules for these teams. So everything has gone according to plan today for Hiroshima Dragonflies, i.e. they came out to win, and they got a big win over Utsunomiya Brex. One final time, Hiroshima Dragonflies win it 72-67 over Utsunomiya Brex. Thanks for watching, everybody.